Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the country, around the world. Welcome back to the Kerbal Space program. Last episode was a lot of chat talk, kind of just exposition and recap and moving forward. For this episode, we are going to jump in and do stuff. Nope, don't want to mine anything. We have a mission to build a surface outpost on Minmus. Where'd it go? Oh, I can do a satellite. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that one. Yeah, there we go. Do a surface outpost on Minmus. And that's going to be a good return for doing that. So we're going to do that. The mission requires, let's see, landed on Minmus. Okay. Antenna docking port and generate power. Easy. 18 Kerbals. We can definitely do that using the stock-like station parts we have. A research lab, 3 pilots, a bunch of monopropellant, and maintain stability. That shouldn't be too hard to slap together. And we're going to do this mission in kind of 2 vessels. Well, 1 vessel for the station. And then I'm going to have 1 other vessel. Well, this will have the main station, and then it'll have a part that'll pop off the top that'll send my 3 pilots back. And then, to satisfy this one, explore Minmus. Dock 2 vessels, which will give us a little bit. Well, 100,000. I mean, I've already docked around Minmus. Maybe it wants it to be actually 2 different vessels. What I've docked before came up as one piece, separated, landed, and then docked back together again. So I'm going to try with the separate pieces. So we'll have the where'd it go? The outpost. And then they'll have that little part that launches up to them, and we will dock that with the main return vessel and transfer them across to that return vessel. So hopefully that docking will satisfy that. We'll also plant a flag, of course, while we are there. So, I'm going to get to building. I'll see you on the launch pad. And here we are at the launch pad with what's going to be our Minmus surface base. It's tucked away inside the fairing. We'll take a look at that again, you know, like I usually do. In orbit, we'll do the reveal. Yeah, I'm using the DC Redstone rocket lifter because this is kind of a chunky thing. It's tall and spindly. I could have done it more spread out, but I chose not to. The only Kerbals I have currently at the Space Center are 3 scientists. I don't want them. We're going to launch this into orbit here. We're going to intercept the Arcadia. And I don't think I'm actually going to dock this because that would... that's going to be so big. But I'll put it in a parking orbit and I'll probably just shuttle EVA 3 guys across. Just a pilot, a scientist, and an engineer. Like I said, just so it's all... Oh, no, I need 3 pilots. Balls. So 3 pilots. I'll shuttle 3 pilots across. Hopefully that leaves a pilot in command. If not, at least we'll have Bill, Bob, and Valentina. Yeah, we should be okay. We should have enough pilots to make this work. So, we now have MechJeb back. I didn't get to showcase using that in last episode, but it's got all these amazing utilities. I love it. I'm trying to not use it too much. I mean, this right here is the big help. The other one that I like having is orbital info, because that'll tell you your apoapsis, all these things listed here. But this one here, this is the big ticket. This gives you all the thrust to weight ratios for everything. So it tells me when I take off, I'm going to be at a 1.63 or 1.53. I don't know what the SLT stands for, but thrust to weight ratio, surface level thrust, maybe? I don't know. But MechJeb is amazing. All right, let's get that going. It's unmanned. There's a probe core in there commanding it, so everything should be okay. SAS is on. Throttle is at full. And release. And away we go. Yeah, that's a good... Yes, I can even actually back off just a wee bit. But we'll send this guy into orbit. We should have plenty of delta. I mean, 7,000 delta V to get to Minmus and back. We should be fine. We should be just fine. Honestly, this right here is that very final stage too. Oh, well, you'll see that when we get there. But this is it. Yeah, we'll be great. All right, so there's 100 meters per second. We're going to start tipping over for our gravity turn. Oh, so slowly and gently. We'll get this guy up just a little bit just to kind of watch how it performs. One of the challenges of this one is that I have to have 1,500 units of monopropellant on board. And I would strap on a bunch of side pieces like these guys, but they only contain 150. I'd throw on a lot. So there's a bunch of the big the big monopropellant tanks tucked away inside here. Kind of unfortunate, but that's what I got to do to make it work. All right, so this is going to be a normal ascent. You know, we've seen this tons and tons of times. I'm going to take care of this without chatting so I don't muck it up, especially now that I have all these windows. I'm distracted again because I'm not used to having them. I will see you in orbit, where we will pop the shell and take a look at what I have created underneath. See you in orbit in just a second. And here we are in orbit, and gosh, once it popped off that last stage, and it's just this bit with this big thing, it does look a little bit funny. I have to admit, I did add one other fuel section here just to stretch out the delta V at this stage. This is going to be our transfer stage and a lot of our braking stage to get into Minmus orbit. Right, that is where we're going, right? I just want to double check that before I aim for the wrong place. Yes, service outpost on Minmus. Better to know ahead of time than to go to the totally wrong place, because that would kind of suck. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got under the hood here. Poof. So it's kind of a tall, skinny base, but it's got plenty of space. Got nice splayed legs for landing. I got extra fuel pods just so that... Go away. Just so that the little... What is that, a poodle? Yeah, so the poodle under there has plenty of fuel. That's what here? Yeah, that's these two stages. So it's, what is that, 1,300 altogether? 1,400? So that should be plenty of delta V to brake and to land at Minmus. Hopefully, though, we can do most of that maneuvering with these guys. Or most of obviously, the insertion to Minmus and entering orbit with these guys here. Oh, yeah, I have to build another ship, don't I? This will be what lands on Minmus with all of this. Oh, I have to... Oh, this is going to take so many stages. We'll have the 3 pilots in here, and then we can pop this off. This stage up here, because it's just the command pod, and these 3 thuds. Yes, thuds. That's where all that delta V is. That's so much to leave Minmus and return home, and rendezvous. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, geez, that's enough to leave Minmus and just rendezvous with whatever's there. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so there's tons of fuel here. Yeah, we'll see what we do with that. I guess I over-engineered that, but better to have more than to have less. So for now, I am going to create an encounter space station. Oh, good. Yes, I'm in a lower orbit. So we're gonna meet up with the Arcadia, transfer across, and I'll be with you guys again as we're burning away from the Arcadia toward Minmus. See you in just a moment once I've transferred the crew across. Well, alright, we have somewhat rendezvoused with the space station Arcadia. She's up there. We're slowly drifting away, but I have EVA'd Carson, Valentina, and Jebediah across. Apparently, I only have 3 pilots in my whole Kerbal Space program. Everybody else on there, there's like another 10 people on there. 6 or 8 of them are scientists, another 3 are engineers. But we've got Bill and Bob left in command of the space station Arcadia. So everything should be just fine, right? It's not the end of the world. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, so now we are going to Minmus. Whoa. Let's set you as the target. And now that we have the wonderful, the glorious Mech Jeb, we're going to make use of it. We'll pull that up, and we're going to get Maneuver Planner. Welcome to looking at screens, looking at boxes on the screen, I think as Quill18 called it one time. So we set it as our target. Maneuver Planner gives us lots and lots of options to do things without having to fine-tune them. We've been to Minmus a lot, so I'm going to let MechJeb do the work for me. When we go to Eve and Duna, I'll set those up manually and try to play with them and fine-tune it, but for these, again, we've done this so many times, I don't feel the need. So, Minmus is set as our target. We want to match planes with the target. We're going to ask it to create a node. And there we go. So now it's going to match planes with the target. Ooh, yeah, and Minmus is somewhat inclined. So we got that coming up, and we still, yeah, plenty of delta V. It's created that node. Now we click execute, and we let it do its thing. And it's going to, OTR? R, there we go. Give it some, hi there, Mike. give it some RCS to get itself around. How are we doing for... Oh, yeah, we'll be fine for autopilot. Oh, before I forget, and before this starts, let's turn off auto-warping. Oh, right, we are still nearby the Space Station Arcadia. So this might take a few minutes longer than it normally would. But we're going to go ahead and extend these. Before I forget, just that when we do come into the sunny side, we will have electricity flowing. We're okay now, and this engine has an alternator, so we'll generate power once this guy starts burning. But for now, we'll get those out because we will want them eventually anyway. Okay, come on. Oh, it's because the Arcadia is still so close. Now we can turn on auto warp though. So once it hits that marker, it will auto warp, get to the time countdown, and it will burn. So we know here. See that here's one of my I don't want to say gripes about Kerbal, but Kerbal Space Program gives you the delta V numbers. It gives you this number right here, which is cool because you know you got it here and you got it here, and you can get some of it. But this is dependent on how much fuel you have. You don't know this unless you're good at math and you do the calculations. I haven't, well, bothered to look up how to do it, or unless you have MechJeb. Unless you have something like MechJeb that will give you delta V numbers. Personally, I think something like MechJeb should be a built-in bit of the game. And the way it works as a mod, you unlock different pieces of it as you advance in science. Like, I think there's still one or two things I don't have yet. But I don't need them yet. Yeah, that's kind of cool looking. I kind of like these long, spindly looking spacecraft that go, you know, for longer distances. I think it's cool. But that's just me. Alright, so we can watch this better. The countdown thingy. Boop. Boop. Oh, we're going slow because we're still... Are we so close to it? I don't know where it is. Where's the Arcadia? I don't know. I know we were below it. Let's not run into it now. Ooh, that would be awkward. Let's see, I'm going to watch the world clock. 78. So we're still a little slow. This is a big-ish ship, but I think it's because we're still... I can't see it, but I'm sure it's here somewhere. We're still bumping into the Arcadia. As far as, you know, graphical struggles. Oh, yeah, see? Yeah, there it is. It's down there. So we've blown up and past it, but it's going to keep drawing it until it hits 2.2 kilometers. There's 2.1, and we'll see it blink out of existence at 2.3, or 4 or 5. Oh, really? Maybe because it knows it's big enough, it just keeps it showing there. Oh, there we go. After 2.5, poof, and time gets much better. Everything gets much easier to control because it's not some crazy thing with hundreds and hundreds of parts. Stop moving. Alright, so we have now matched planes. Thank you very much, MechJeb. Next, a home and transfer to the target. Create a node. Coming up in 34 minutes. That's some transfers there. So, home and transfers to the target with MechJeb will get the job done. Certainly. We're going to go ahead and click execute. However, most of the time they generate solid encounters, i.e. you're going to crash into it. But that's okay because it gets most of the work done for you. After you get this happening, then you can fine-tune and get yourself into a nice orbit. Doesn't take that much delta V to do that part. So this is coming up in, let's go back, in 34 minutes. So yeah, we just missed the node for it. That's okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, I have that geostationary orbital mission to undertake. I think I can do that. Off camera. Don't need to Don't need, you guys don't need to see that. So let's see, 888.8. That's fun, and 954. So that's good. That should give us enough to obviously get the encounter and probably fix it. After that, we might. Ooh, that's gonna be. Maybe I don't know. I might have under budgeted. Maybe I should have put some rockets on these guys. I mean, once we're at Minmus, though, that these thrust to weight ratios, these ratios get way better. At least it looked like it did. I hope it's still good. I think. I mean, I'm not Scott Manley. I'm not a physicist. I'm not astronomical. You know, I'm not trained like that. I never went to school like that, and I don't know how the game works under all aspects. But I'm thinking these numbers are still based on Kerbin because we are still in Kerbin's sphere of influence. I think once we get to Minmus' sphere of influence, these will all change. That's something I'm going to watch for right now. That's something I really am going to try to pay attention to as we hit that sphere of influence. And if I don't watch it and you guys are watching this video later and I don't mention it, please leave a comment to say, hey, look at it. And hopefully while I'm editing this, I will stop and look at it. But I can't guarantee I'll watch this whole thing. I'll just cut the beginning, cut the end. Okay, so we now are on our way out to Minmus. Boop, 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 boop. Focus view. Oh, and that actually ended up being much better than it could have been. Instead of a strike, it's going to be a a very near miss. So that's great. That's going to help us conserve delta V. I want to go back. There we go. So we're on our way. Let's go ahead and quick save, because quick saving is our friend. Quick save. Quick saving. There it is. We're going to go ahead and warp up to about halfway out here. Oh, well, it's under control. We're not doing any science yet. But we could go ahead and extend. That should get us, boom, full receptors. Beautiful. Okay, so we are going to fix this encounter. Focus. Because that's just, it's a kilometer up now. We are going to do the things to try to get this guy happy. Let's try radial out. I think radial out should help. I don't know where it is. There we go. Oh, we were really close to it. In that case, let's just go ahead. What's with that? I mean, it's just this thrusting around here is making it change. Let's go ahead and thrust. Nope. That was the wrong one. That was totally, but, RCS. Yeah, I'm pressing N to reverse our RCS. Okay, so, there we go. 10 kilometers. A 10-kilometer orbit over Minmus is just dandy. That will be just fine. So now, again, we're going to quick save. We're going to warp up to that sphere of influence change. Warp here. And then we'll cut it closer when we get closer. I wish these numbers were like up here or over here, somewhere where they're not like right on top of my ship's icon. Like down here. Right here would be good too. Okay, let's go ahead and warp to here. Ooh, a whole day just to get around that little bit there. Ouchies. All right, so again, I'm going to keep an eye, I think, on the thrust to weights here. Obviously, we have lots of delta V's, but it takes forever to burn through that. And I am curious to watch and see if this changes when our sphere of influence changes. So we're pretty close. We're going to go ahead and stop that. We're going to go ahead and warp. Watching these guys, but I can't keep the mouse here or else I can't control that. One more. You don't want to cross sphere of influence going any faster than 50 times, or else weird things can happen. Oof. I do like that you can right-click on things and bring up that data. I think that is nice. Oh, I dropped down to 8. That's okay. it's still something we can definitely live with. 2, 1. Okay, and it auto warps us down a little bit. Okay, watching. Aha! Ah! Oh no! Did I just do what I think I did? I did. I blew past. I was fat fingered. I pressed the buttons the wrong way. I wanted to cancel it and I pressed forward. That's okay. That's what quick saves are for. I was too excited with learning things. Okay, so we're still here. Okay, so let's try this again. But we'll did you see that change though? I think that's very interesting. I'm not going to touch the warp buttons. Yeah, I auto warped and it flew right past, ended up somewhere over here. So we're going to do this again and be much more careful. Let's warp to there. But yeah, so right now we are in Kerbin Sphere of Influence, and these are the thrust to weights. But as soon as we cross this threshold for the Sphere of Influence change, boom, those jumped way up. Okay, my finger is going to be pressed over the slash button to kill the time warp. Actually, that to get us down there, because this is still a little bit away. And over the slash question mark button. And there we go. Ah, yes. Look at all these changes here. So that's easy. Yeah, Minmus is so tiny and so small, you can do a lot with it. Cool, so there's that. Let's get ourselves into orbit. Can I? There we go. Doop de doop. Another great thing about MechJeb, I can manually create maneuvers like this. Whoa, not like that. Not like that either. Come on. There it is, and that's 20 and 7. Eek. I don't want that to get too low. And then can we? Nope. About that way. There we go. 12 and 9. That's okay. I'll live with that. So I manually created that, and it was a little messy because I went wonky all around. I can tell MechJeb to execute the node I created. Even though I didn't create it with Maneuver Planner, I can tell MechJeb, hey, do that thing for me. I just set it up, but it's all for you. Oh, this is going to require staging midway through, or a third of the way through. That's fine. A part of me likes having these things here because I can do more stuff from this view, watching the vessel. And I think watching the ships fly around is just cool. It's inherently cool. Oh yeah, so I just was thinking I don't know how far into this, I missed some of the timer, but we're going to get this here, we're going to land on Minmus, somewhere we haven't been before, and then I'll cut this episode here. And then next episode, I'm going to launch the vessel that's going to catch these guys and return them to Kerbin. And that'll be the next episode. Alright, MechJeb. Oh, right, I have to stage. Whoa. Oof. Minmus is so bright. Excuse me. Stage. And like that guy. There we go. And now our thrust weight is way less than that was, but it's still plenty to make things happen. I mean, now, what is that? Estimated burn? 15 seconds, 16 seconds? So it's going to take a little bit of time, and we're past the periapsis, but gee, look at that. We're in an orbit already, so all it takes is time. And you can get it wherever you want it to be. Yeah, and that's actually 12, 20. That's not the original one, but that's just fine. Okay, so we're now here at Minmus. We don't need this one right now. We're going to bring up ScanSat. The big map. Oh, go away. So we got... Oh, wait, nope. This is... There we go. Minmus, please. So that way it has our tracks. We can see kind of where we are. And we can look at where we have landed. And what biomes we haven't hit. Oh, I want the biome map. And a part of me thinks, because I have a fair amount of Delta V, and a lot with the returning stage, part of me wants to land on one of the poles. I don't believe... Oh, I've been to that pole. Yes, I've just been to the poles. Ah, I've been to those poles. Been there. Highlands. Greater Flats. Lesser Flats? Lesser Flats. I've been to the Lesser Flats. I've been to the Great Flats, the Greater Flats. Great Flats. Flats. I've been to lots of places. I'm going to pop out real quick. Actually, no. You can come with me. Quick save just because. We're going to jump back to the Space Center real quick. We're going to check in with the science and see what that says. Alright, so we're going to go to the R&D. We're going to check out the archives. We're going to check out, let's see, Kerbin, Minmus. So, biomes. Highlands, Midlands, Lowlands. Flats, Great Flats, Greater Flats, Lesser Flats, Poles, and Slopes. Oh. So we've been just about everywhere we can be. Flats has, like, everything. Okay, so what's one with the least amount? The Poles. The Poles only has 6 reports. Temp, surface, sample, mag, EVA, crew report, atmospheric pressure. So we can go, yes, we're going to go to the poles because, hey, it's fun to go to the poles. Because we can. Yeah, we're going to go to the poles because that's the place that has the least amount of things that we have scienced. So that'll hopefully get us the most science to utilize a return and spend. Alright, let us go back to the vessel. And because we have MechJeb. Oh, sorry. Little housekeeping. Clean that up. Yes, terminate. It's just debris. Then surface base. Fly. Because we have MechJeb, we are going to let it land for us. It's a beautiful thing. MechJeb lands the ship for you. At least on bodies without atmosphere. On bodies with atmosphere, I don't trust it because it like plans it for a body without atmosphere. Alright, so we're here. We're going to quick save real quick because sometimes MechJeb doing this stuff, it goes a wee bit crazy. Let's see. Flags. Been to the North Pole. We haven't been to the South Pole. No, we have not. So, let us go to the South Pole. Let's bring up ScanSat again. The big map. Close. Ooh, it's all preloaded. That's nice. We're going to go ahead and use this. We're going to go to the poles. We're going to... Boop. Right, that's the poles. Good. So now we can see that on the map. On the map view in here. And now, we ditch Maneuver Planner. And we get surface info, because surface info is nice to have. And landing guidance. So now, I'm going to pick a target. Hey, I have that guy there. Guess what? Actually, hold on. No. Let me get rid of this real quick. Ah! I did that because I wanted to... What's it called? I wanted to focus on Minmus. There we go. Pick the target on the map. We're just going to go mount the triangle right across... Or the 3 right across the 4. Boop. There we go. So now we have our landing site set. And now all it takes is just pressing land at target. And MechJeb takes over. It's going to correct our orbits that we cross over that. And then it'll break us and land us. It's all taken care of by MechJeb. Which is fun because it gives us a chance to chat. Actually, it's not anything to chat about. So what is that? Oh, yes. So it is doing the low orbit plane change, 200 and some odd, which is fine. Honestly, as long as we have enough Delta V to land, we're okay, because this has a ton of Delta V to get back into orbit here. And it doesn't take much to get into orbit. We've all seen that here at Minmus. Our orbital velocity isn't that much either, so we should be just fine. Even if I have to stage halfway through for it, not a big deal. This is have to put landing gear, yeah, so this will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Although sometimes landing near the poles can be interesting because of reasons. The way the map is drawn around the actual pole does weird things sometimes. I think that's more like down here. It looks like it's a little swirly. Still, yeah, this will be fine. So he'll do this. He'll come around a little further. He'll do a plane change burn to, oh, I'm sorry, a deorbit burn. Yeah, low orbit plane change. So it'll cross right over that, or pretty close to it. Good, and then, yep, moving to low deorbit burn point. Blech. There it is. Okay, let's focus on the vessel now. So now it's gonna spin around a retrograde and then burn itself and stop it. Usually doing this gets it pretty close to where you want it to be. Obviously, those are slightly different, like elevations, the way they are modeled on the actual planet, the actual moon of Minmus. There you go. Oh, it was correcting itself. Yeah, there. So we'll get the blue to match up with the red, or pretty close. And then we'll come in for a landing. And then we'll call it a night for this episode. Yes. Alright, so, yeah, it's lining it up, which is good. And right here, this stuff here is kind of the info we want to look at to know what's going on. So it thinks it's pretty well lined up. That's how much Delta V it thinks is going to need to actually land. So now at this point, we know that arc's going in the right direction. We can just watch. I mean, this guy's a little long and spindly and maybe a little hard to control, but with MechJeb at the controls, as long as the spot I picked is actually kind of level. That could be a problem if it's not. It should deploy the gear on its own, on time. Should, at least. Pop, pop, pop. That's a cool sound effect, though, for, you know. Oh, yeah, plenty of Delta V. Wow. I probably could have ditched these guys, but I better to over-prepare, right? Oh, there goes the landing gear automatically. Thank you very much, MechJeb. That's great. And this looks... Bob was here. Great. This looks like it's decently flat. Maybe. I don't know. It might be crazily sloped. Okay, so now it's stopped kind of all sideways. Well, it thinks it has. Whoa. What is going on? Nope, it's still... Okay. Time to land. It thinks it needs 0 Delta V. No, it knows it's going to break. I thought maybe because of the way like the things were drawn at different levels, it thought like, I'm here! Wait, I'm not here, what's going on? But no, it's still working. Oh yeah. This should be flat enough, I think. I hope the landing gear's spread enough if it's not terribly flat. Okay, MechJeb. There you go. Oh yeah, altitude, true. 80, 90, because we're obviously not at sea level, or the flats level. This should bring us down for a nice, smooth, gentle landing. Even if we are on a slope, it should manage it just fine. Come on. This is a little squirrely, actually. No! The RCS saves the day. Otherwise, the vessel might have tipped over. I mean, this is when it's I think it's going to come to rest in a moment or two. This is going to be a good, what is that, 20-degree slope? Yeah, that's pretty sloped. But yeah, it looks like the RCS is going to save the day and keep us lined up. I mean, if I turn that off... Are we falling? No. Oh, see, the RCS is pushing us like in all kinds of weird directions. We're going to stop that. There we are. We are down on Minmus. Slightly at an angle and kind of funky, but we are here. Whew. So, and yes, we satisfied the mission. We got 500,000 space bucks. So that's awesome. Beautiful. And then we can plant a flag. We'll pop somebody out, plant a flag. I'm going to do some science. We'll collect all that, yada, yada, yada. Next episode, though, we will get these guys into orbit and then launch something to come and save them. And we can dock in space, and it'll all be great. But that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you like, hit subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, pass the word. I will catch you later.